Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. I'm your host, Coach Tripp. I want to thank you for joining the show. I have a special show today. High school reunion of 1979, Liverpool High School. We're Section 3 champions, undefeated. And I got all our captains here, a head coach, Coach George O'Leary. Coach Irv Cross here is on the left, bottom left. Mark Berryhill, our middle linebacker and fullback, and captains in the middle. Paul Goulet, good friend of mine, out on the right, tight end, former teacher and coach. Up above him, Bill Pendock, great player at Syracuse, offense and defensive lineman. And to Bill's right, in the middle of the screen on top, Chuck Sweeney, another Syracuse scholarship player, offensive lineman, great player, now lives in Texas. And I am in here in the Panhandle. Guys, what a show we're going to have today. Coach, thank you for joining the show, Coach O.
Well, no problem. I hope I can help you out.
All right. We're going to start out right away. I mean, let's talk high school football. I want to get these stories in before something happens.
Hey, Coach Tripp.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a roast of Coach George O'Leary.
We just started. Hold on, Bill. It will be.
It will, yeah. Eventually, we're just getting started, man. We got to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start with the football field, Coach. You come up from Long Island, turn our program around. You started getting us lifting weights at 5:30 in the morning that no other local high school coach was doing. How did you get a bunch of ragtag people like us in that weight room?
Well, I tell you what, I think you all wanted to win, and I think it was a place that had been winning. And, I think the problem there was that we had to get some new blood in there and rejuvenate what was going on. And for the most part, you were a tough group and very skilled as far as athletic was concerned.
Yeah, with a lot of D1 players, man. We only had 8 seniors on that squad. We're going to tell Golden Valley stories. Yeah, here we go. The Golden Valley, like mini Junction boys, I call it, since I played for Coach Bryant. But, Coach, that was brutal. Chuck, do you have some memories of that hell week?
Oh, I do. Coach O'Leary, 5 a.m. with a cup of coffee, had us out running. I had it figured out. I had some cherry lifesavers. I put them in my mouth. I got about halfway around the track. I said, Coach, I can't run anymore. I'm bleeding, Coach. Get your ass moving, he said. He'll ask me, he says, where's the blood? I said, oh, it's way over there.
Way over there.
I remember that.
No,
Coach, you saw right through that, didn't you?
Of course he
Well,
does.
not really. I was busy drinking my coffee.
There was a pool there, but we never saw the pool, Coach. We were going three practices a day.
We never got in the pool.
Oh, stop complaining. Jeez, you sound like a bunch of women.
All right, so let's go. Let's go right into the season because we'll tell stories as we go along. All right, the last year. Oh, wait a minute. I got to tell about the field because that the pride we took in that football field was. I tell the story. I've been telling the story ever since. I tell it to my players that I coached, and when I talk about pride. You had us. What was your impetus, number one, to have a stadium on campus? And we did everything, folks. Coach had us prepare the field. We laid the sod. We watered it. We fertilized it. We cut it. We put up the fence. And if I remember correctly, and I know I do because I've been doing my research, nobody scored on us, but I don't think anybody got past our red zone.
No, that was still good grass by the end of the season.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, nobody scored on us at home senior year.
Not at home. Not at home.
Now I got to find out from Coach, what was the point of us sleeping there at night?
Well, I wasn't sure what was around there and stuff, and I was looking.
We had to move the sprinklers.
Yeah, and plus you had to water the place.
Well, that's it. We had to move the sprinklers.
Yeah.
Unity building.
I tell you, that worked out for me because there were some late night rendezvous, in between making sure the field was okay.
Yeah.
A few. Cheerleaders had to know that they could jump on that grass too, you know.
Well, the key with that field was every game the year before was like an away game. We had to go downtown to play and stuff, and you had no place to call home. So I think putting that field in was the right move at that time, and and I think you guys put the sweat and toil in to put it in, and you acted that way when you played too.
Yeah, the discipline you had us go in and out of the practice field in 2 lines. All right, let's take it from the beginning. You guys can tell stories as we go along. I still got a few more I want to bring up. Game 1 versus Cicero, 3-2 at halftime. Sween, you remember what Coach said at halftime in that first game?
I do vividly. I shake about it. We come in at halftime, it's 3-2. He says, "What do you think? We're in a baseball game here?" He hits me with a right hook. He says, "And get that Moby Dick look off your face and start playing football." That's a true story.
You're making that stuff up.
Yeah, Doc, you predicted that, Bill. Hey. Smitty went for 200 yards on 34 carries. Oh, my gosh. Coach, he said our kids were bewildered by the safety. Of course, our defense was bewildered by the safety.
What was the final score, Trip? You remember?
Final score 17-2.
Yeah.
Well, 17-2, yeah.
Coach O'Leary said our pass defense still bothers us. That's what he told the papers. Coach, what was so bad about the DBs that first game? We didn't give up any points.
Well, you gave some passing yards. Remember back, right?
All right, game 2, Fulton. I read in the newspaper. Thank God to Dominic and Genevieve Tripoli, right? I got 2 picks in the game, had 73 yards on 9 carries. Smitty gets 34 carries in the first game, and I get 9, Coach. What's up with that?
He was faster than you.
Yeah, you're right.
We still rode the bus home with our helmets on.
Oh, that's why we didn't want to play it. That's why we didn't want to play at Griffin Field anymore. We took enough rides on the bus with our helmets on and our mouthpieces in.
Yeah.
Well, it kept you quiet.
Liverpool 10, Fulton, Oswego block letter 0. Game 3 versus Oswego. Uh-oh. Coach, here's the only time you ever lost 2 games as a high school coach in the area. We were out for redemption. I recall getting into a 2-minute drill right before halftime. And you know how teams like to throw the outcut to, save the clock and get out. Well, I already knew that. So I picked it off and took it back to the house. Chuck, you and Bear had a sack, and Chuck, you had a fumble recovery. And our defense outscored both offenses by 2 touchdowns. Liverpool 14, Oswego, their block letter 0.
Well, 2 good shutouts in a row.
Unbelievable. Thanks for Danny DiAgostino, Oswego block letter. Game 3, Coach O'Leary. Well, we haven't given up many points in 3 games, only 2, and the offense gave that up. Coach, that was the best compliment we could get. Game 4, North Syracuse. Woody, Mike Woods had 2 interceptions. Our crazy kicker, Doug Johnson, booted 3 field goals. Defense gets 3 fumbles. Bear getting 2 of them. Liverpool 43, North Syracuse 0. No points in the first 4 games. You guys remember anything about that game?
We owed them.
Neither do I. It was just business. We were just taking care of business.
That paid back.
What I looked at in those games, you guys would find out how to win. That's what I saw. And, each game got a little better. And, and offensively finally started waking up.
Yeah, I think it woke up game 5. Fayetteville Manlius, one game I'd like to forget. All I remember is the first score of the year was my responsibility. Remember they had a bad snap on a field goal, and the guy runs around, and I was going after him, and he throws to my guy in the end zone, touchdown. I felt so bad. I felt like I had to spear the guy, and I got kicked out after that.
Hey, are you reading all this or do you remember all?
No, I read now. You kidding me? Dominic and Genevieve kept detailed notes and all the newspaper articles and all that stuff.
Really?
I can't remember any of that stuff except for getting kicked out. And I go off to the sideline, the penalty flag, and I look at you and you said, "You're out of the game." I said, "Why are you taking me out of the game?" You said, "I'm not. The referee is."
Well,
Oh, my goodness.
so who we have next?
Trip, take a break. I want to see if Coach remembers what he was thinking in this picture.
I'm looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to see it.
That's before the Henniger, right before the Henniger game.
I probably wasn't thinking much of the people I was with.
No, he said, no, you weren't thinking about us. It said you were talking to us, but we knew you weren't talking to us. You were thinking about Henniger. You weren't talking to us.
Well, we should have been thinking about Henniger too.
All right. So, games Central
I was just
Square.
trying to stay out of the way.
Coach, you got us out of the way sometimes. Like in Game 6 against Central Square, you pulled us. You pulled the starters at the beginning of the third quarter because we were up 54-0.
Well, I always like to play the seconds because, it's good for morale in the locker room and everything. And, I think it helps your team when you can do things like that.
Yeah, down the road, especially next year. All right, West Genesee, poor offenses, great defenses. Chuck, you, Timmy Green, and Billy, you're coming back from an ankle injury. You guys dominated both lines of the line of scrimmage. Coach, special team guys are really a dime a dozen, but these guys that we have here, like Berry Hill, well, especially Pendock, Goo, and Sweeney, they dominated the line of scrimmage. And to this day, doesn't matter what level, that's where the games are won, right? On the line of scrimmage. Up front,
offensive and defensive lines, then you work your way back, and I think linebackers, but you have to have up front people, offensive line, defensive line, that can move the line of scrimmage.
I remember who got the play of the game. The player of the game in that game was Billy Dehan for catching the a poor snap, get it down in time to get the punt off for Doug to get the kick.
Field goal, the field goal. That was the difference in the game.
That was the difference in the game. Billy Dehan, was our snap holder.
Little Dehan.
I don't remember that, but I know it was a win and it was a close game.
It was 10-7. Game 8, Baldwinsville. First play of the game. Odai throws the Goo for a 23-yard gain. Emmy recovered a fumble. Goo catches another one. I plunge in, and we just whoop Beeville 33-0.
Yeah, well, I tell you, let me say, before you go any further, Billy, you're doing what now?
Pardon me?
What are you doing with yourself?
Oh, I retired out of police work and still doing some training here.
All right, go right down the line. What do you got here now? Mark, what are you doing?
I produce business, running my own company. I basically sell onions up and down the East Coast as a middleman, as a broker. I've been doing that about 35 years.
What kind of onions? Vidalia?
Oh, Vidalias, yellows, reds, whites, Peruvians, any kind of onions you can think about.
That's good. What happened to your face?
I've been trying to get ready for this podcast here, I knew you'd enjoy this unshaven look.
You didn't trim it very good.
Look like you're getting ready for Christmas.
I know. Hey, these gray hairs are from that Moby Dick comment.
Mark, what are you doing now?
Yeah, so I design and manufacture respirators, ventilators that breathe for you.
Really? Now, where are you at? On the West Coast?
Yeah, I'm out in Southern California.
They ought to cut South California out, let it float out to be another Hawaii. I can't stand that state. Old woke liberals.
Bigger Barry Hill up there.
But there's some cool spots there.
What are you doing? Champs,
What's
what are
that?
you doing?
Trying to get on the podcast.
He's what?
I'm
Oh, I think he's
retired.
I can't. He must be dead. I can't even hear him. What the hell is he talking about?
I'm trying to go games and who's won and who's not. Yeah,
Irv's just buffering, man. He was 16 years DC and DB coach at
buffering.
Columbia Union College. Coach, are you with us, Coach Irv?
He's buffering.
He's buffering.
He said
He's
technical
buff.
difficulty.
But apparently you guys can't hear me. I don't know what's going on with
can't
this
hear
thing.
you, but that's about like you are when you were coaching with me.
I know.
Oh gosh! All right,
Nobody.
so two more games left. Then we'll
You got
tell
two-
stories. Two more games left.
You
Then we'll
got
tell stories.
Goulet. You got Goulet.
Oh, Goulet. Goulet.
Oh,
Yeah, don't forget Goo.
I retired as a school administrator.
He's a male
Retired.
horse.
Just enjoying fishing, hunting, golfing, and spending time back and forth between upstate New York and Florida.
Where you at in Florida?
St. Petersburg area.
Oh, are you? I'm over in Palm Coast on the ocean. I have a home over there and stuff. I've been to St. Petersburg many times, played in that bowl game over there
Yeah,
and stuff.
nice area.
It's good. It's nice. I don't like the Gulf. I like the ocean and stuff. So, but aren't you a farmer or something?
Well, I was growing Christmas trees for a while when I was here, but I've even retired from that.
Really?
Now I
Good
just
for you.
now I just look for now I let the deer hide between the Christmas trees.
You all seem to be doing well, which I'm happy. I'm happy about that.
Now, Coach, you
All right,
still live in
all right.
Georgia?
What's that?
Are you still living in Georgia as well?
I have a couple homes. I have one on the lake in Georgia, Lake Oconee, and I have a home on the ocean in Palm Coast. So I go back and forth a little bit and stuff.
When do you go up to the lake house in Georgia, Coach?
Well, I go up for Christmas with the kids. My kids are up in Georgia, Atlanta area, when they live up there. Tim and Christine, and Trish lives in Augusta, and Marty is down here in basically Lake Mary area. But so I go up there then. I go up during the summer, but most of the time I'm in Florida.
Well, all right, let's go over the last two games. Section 3 playoff, first ever semifinal division winner, Liverpool versus division winner Cortland. We get 8 turnovers in this game, 5 fumbles, 3 interceptions. We also fumbled 4 times. Syracuse Herald reporter Dick Clark said, quote, "Nifty grab by big tight end Paul Goulet pulling away." I got a problem with nifty, big, and pulling away.
That's one thing. That's one thing when I look at that season. We should have thrown the ball more to him.
Well, if Tommy could have thrown the ball further than 10 yards, we might have, but that's why I was the lead receiver. He had to throw it to the tight end.
He was a good play action guy.
He had good hands. He didn't fumble much.
No. We were on a big
Play
turnover
action.
team, a penalty team. Yeah. What was the score of the Cortland game?
Score 24, Liverpool, Cortland 6.
Only scored 24 points with 8 turnovers?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's Jesus. What the hell are we doing?
I don't know. I guess we didn't have any pick sixes.
All right, and then we go into Henniger, right?
Yeah, and then Henniger, right? And then the Section 3 championship, Henniger, we had 227 points, and our opponents had 25, only scored 25. Henniger was just as good, 284 points in 10 games. Their opponents scored only 35. Coach Tom Acey, all things pointed to an epic battle. And, Coach, I saw in the paper where our game plan was to take their quarterback, who lived right across the street from my grandmother in Syracuse, Dave Bonzerato, take him out. Well, Coach, I think it worked because he had 9 carries for 0 yards.
Yeah, I tell you, that was a heck of a game. Great attendance by the fan base, and guys played well. It wasn't a big scoring game. It was a cold night, but that was a great team. I tell you what, that team, a lot of good athletes, a very tough team. But you practice hard, and the games are easy. Yeah.
All right, Coach Irv, are you still with us? You there, Coach? All right. It was you were at Columbia for 15 years. Is it easier to coach kids that are smarter than you are?
No, a hell
Columbia.
of a lot harder because they had an answer. They had an answer for everything, but I was the answer. I don't know if you hear it.
Well, Coach, I hope you can
No.
hear us because we can't. Yeah, we can't hear you. You're buffered out.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Well, Coach, listen, I got to tell you, man, you get. Wait a minute, Coach. I've been wanting to ask you this for years and years, and you can be honest with me. Okay, you're always honest with me. You gave me MVP of the team, but you took these two bright individuals up here to Syracuse. I had to walk on in Alabama. Thank you for doing that, Coach. I appreciate that so much. I really do, man. It's the best for me to get out of Dodge and get away from everybody and go down south.
Are you talking? Who are you talking to?
I think he's talking to you, Coach.
He's talking to me. I tell you, you
Coach
didn't
O.
pay to go to Alabama. You didn't pay to go to Alabama. Who you
Yeah.
kidding? No, the hell you did. I know you didn't.
I paid for 10 years. It's called student loans, Coach.
No. You went in on a swimming scholarship. I know you did.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. When you first met everybody, you had everybody stand up and say their name. And then you go, oh, I heard about you, Tripoli. You're a good golfer. I've never heard of a good golfer that was a good football player yet.
I'm pretty accurate that way.
I don't know about that. Coach. I've been up here to the member guest here for about 4 years. He ain't that good of a golfer.
I tell you, at the time, I know his dad enjoyed playing and stuff and all that. So it was a good family.
Coach, it didn't have nothing to do with his last name ending with a vowel, did it?
Yeah. Hey, so's mine. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Bear, it's great to see you, man.
Yeah, you guys can come on out. We'll do some golfing out here. This is golf heaven.
You ever come back east?
Not too much. To be honest, I go out to Nashville. My parents and brother live out there.
Your dad's still with us. Yeah.
Nashville.
Nashville's a great town.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you, really growing town. I've been up there a couple of times.
Yeah, the energy's great.
Yeah, my daughter lives in Nashville.
Music is cool. The town is really it's bustling. It's great.
That's good. I'll tell you, you guys all look good, and you're all doing well, which I'm happy about. I think that's what it's all about. And you all went off, and you seem like you're doing well on your feet and stuff. So I'm happy about all that.
Coach, I know what I wanted to ask you. What about the Union Endicott game? Would that ever come close to happening, the Union Endicott game?
I don't know. I think they were trying to get that done, but I don't think they were real obliging down there.
Hey, Coach, we had a pretty. I know you coached in the national championship team, and real successful college coach. But man, the high school group was special. I want to recognize Jimmy Roswood, Jim Spinella, Tommy Odai, Timmy Green, Steve Corp, Jim Corsiniti, Lance Carney, Billy Adams, Mike Woods, Troy Braithwaite, John Howell, Frank Altieri, and Brian Comer.
I remember all the names and stuff, and
yep.
In fact, I saw Tim Green. I was watching the Ranger game last night. He was at the Garden watching the Rangers lose. They look like a bunch of ballerinas.
Yeah, Coach, Blades came up about 2 months ago, and we got a chance to go see Timmy. And,
did you? Yeah, that's a shame that damn disease. There's no cure and stuff, and it's but he's handling it as well as you can.
Yeah, he didn't really want to see anybody, but we got a chance to get in to see him.
I tell you a funny story. Tim wrote a lot of books, and he wrote a book. The first one, he called me up, says, "Coach, I dedicated the book to you." So he sent me the book, and I opened it up and it says, "To the man who taught me the dark side of football, Coach George O'Leary." I said, "Yeah, I don't think that's a compliment. What the hell?" I called him up. He goes, that's a compliment. I said, well, people that buy, not everybody knows football that buys your books, Tim. I said to the man who told me the dark side of football, what the hell's that? But I talked to him to his son about once every couple of weeks to see how he's doing and stuff. Yeah, it's a shame. But you guys had a heck of a club, a great high school team that, just in all phases, offense, defense, special teams. Plus you all had to care about each other. You were great teammates. You really were.
Yeah, we loved each other, man. We were crazy, a little bit wild, but we looked after each other, man, and we would sacrifice our bodies for each other.
Well, I never asked where you were on Saturday nights because I knew.
Yeah, we all knew.
Yeah, we all knew. We all knew. That's okay. Hey, it's okay. We partied hard. We played hard. We cared hard. That's why
I never asked where you were.
I think there was a period there where we had to do a bunch of extra laps for something.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
I think it was the two.
Yeah, me and Goo. Me and Goo.
Well, you must.
Yeah, you and Goo.
You must.
That might have had something to do with a float.
You must have caught me in a good mood.
It had something to do with an illegal substance.
What's that?
We paid the price. We paid the price for it. We were just ahead of our time, Coach. We were 40, 50 years ahead of our time. That's all.
Well, I tell you, it took a lot of work on the staff's part and everything else. And, I tell you, it was funny. When up there, I put the 4 junior highs to have 2 ninth grade teams, 2 JVs, and a varsity. That school should never lose a game in football, what I saw there and stuff. And, they just have so many athletes. They got kids walking the halls that could be playing. They just got to get them out.
Well,
Coach,
how old were you when were you 34 when we were?
I'm trying to think. I was probably in my probably in my 30s sometime. In 34, somewhere around there.
I remember we used to go to your house in Bayberry and watch film. And you at that time, I can't remember if you had 1 or 2 small children. One baby was just born.
Right.
2 boys.
I ended up with 4 children, and I have 4 grandchildren. 2 of them play lacrosse and football, and I guess they're pretty decent players and stuff.
Awesome.
The only thing I ever told them was I don't think they could play for me. but they do well. They're in Atlanta, and they play for Marist and Pace Academy down there, so they do well. But I enjoy going to the games and watching. And I never sit in the stands. I've never sat in the stands at all during my whole career, and I can't stand it. The parents are awful. They're awful. They don't know what they're talking about. They're yelling and screaming. I said, Jesus, give me a break.
I hated the booth too, Coach. You know what I also hated when I was coaching? Those headphones. I don't want anybody complaining about anything in my head when I'm coaching. I used to just throw them down. But you didn't like the booth. I like being on the field. How about you too, right, Coach? You hated the booth.
Yeah, I want to be on. I had to go up to the booth one time because I was suspended for something. But I couldn't stand it. But I like to be on the field and look in the eyes of the people playing and stuff and make sure we're on the same page. But I think you lose a lot of the game up in the booth and stuff. And I don't know if you can see better, I guess. But you should be able to see the whole field from the field you're on anyway. But I tell you what, I was damn proud of you guys. I never say those things a lot, but I tell you guys went out and you beat everybody you played, and basically you did a heck of a job, really, and you stuck together. You really did, which is good. I'm glad to see something like this happening for you guys.
Coach,
go
ahead, Billy.
Trip.
Go ahead.
I gotta ask you guys if you remember the lift-a-thon.
Yes.
You guys, do you guys know what happened to the weights from our original lift-a-thon?
Who has them?
Billy still has them.
Who has them?
I don't know. I had some of them because I took the ones I bought.
Well, I mean, coach was at Georgia Tech when I got the phone call to go to Liverpool and tell Magic Carroll that he wanted his weights back. I'm thinking to myself, there's 350 pounds of weights here. How the hell, what, and I finally had the guts to say, Coach, I mean, you're in Georgia. What am I going to, how are we going to work this out? And I don't know if I can even get the weights. I go, they're going to give me the weights. He goes, just get over there and get the weights. I want half. I'll give you half, and I'll take half for my kids. And I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to get 175 pounds of weights down to Georgia? So I went to the high school. Magic Carroll's in there. I go and say, hey, Coach O'Leary wants his weights back that we got from our liftathon back in 1979. He didn't say nothing. He handed them right over.
Yeah, because I had bought all those weights myself and stuff.
Yeah, you did.
In fact, I painted them.
Yeah.
They're still painted with Liverpool football on it.
Yeah, exactly. And remember that guy? There was a heavy guy that was a track coach. I'm trying to think of his name. But there's a guy in the weight room that I changed the whole thing around. And he was getting upset. He was a track coach at Liverpool.
Oh, Jensen.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah. But I tell you what, you guys did a heck of a job, and you showed up, and it was good. I tell you, you win more games in the off season than you do in during the season.
Oscar just passed away last year.
Hey.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Coach, you had influence on thousands of kids, but really, we owe a lot to you, man, for what you did in our lives and how you instilled the discipline and work ethic in us. And when I talk to NFL guys, and Coach, you probably have heard the same thing over the years. Your high school team is really more special than college, even or pros. I played at all three levels, and there's nothing like my high school time.
No, in fact, I tell you, high school. But you guys are something special, though. You're good kids. I'm sure you were rambunctious when I wasn't around, but I think you went out and played the game where you're supposed to play it. You all played different sports too, and kept going. So,
Yep.
But I'm happy that you guys can get together like this, and you all look like you're doing well.
All good.
All right. In conclusion, I want to conclude and thank everybody. I want to mention I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Henry Florinori, Todd Richardson for being Warrior Proud, Orange and Crimson Tide players. And I was honored that Todd took my number 23. I also want to mention the 1978 team. What a great members we had. We had a great team that year, 8-1, only one loss. Tom Murphy, Tom Comer, Sutphin, Mark Merrow, Mike Cheeseborough, all these are real tough guys. I think maybe that's how we got tough, is from the class ahead of us.
Well, I tell you what, practice-wise is tough, but we made practice is tough. The games are easy because practice was so tough.
Right.
But I think you guys went out and did what you had to do, and you went and played. You were a contact football team. That's what I remember about you on offense and defense. You weren't afraid to put it in there and get things done, and that's why you're successful.
We had some tough guys. We had a tough coach to lead us. Thank you, Coach. Love you guys. Thanks for joining the podcast. We're going to have to do it soon, okay?
Yeah.
Everybody out there, if you like this podcast.
All right, buddy.
I guess we lost him.
I guess the podcast is over.
Hey, Coach,
Chuck,
take care.
I'm going to come see you.
Come see me in Texas.
Take care.
Coach, thank you for everything. Appreciate it.
I don't know if you can still hear me or not. Can you?
Yeah, we can hear you, Coach.
Well, hey, you're all welcome. Come down and visit. I'm right on the ocean and stuff, and you can sit down and have a cup of coffee or something and enjoy the conversation.
Appreciate
We will,
you.
Coach. We'll come see
Thanks,
you.
Coach.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey,
Thanks, man.
hey,
See you
thank
all.
you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care,
Love you
man.
guys. Love you guys. All right, folks. What?
Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on your home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is, ta-da, State Farm. Here's the deal. State Farm agent Will Rentschler is your go-to agent in Pensacola, Florida for the service you deserve at the price that you want. So stop shopping around. State Farm agent Will Rentschler has you covered. Call 850-433-4678 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Legal disclaimer, individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
75 years of service and high tech today. It's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348. High tech is a term often applied to advanced services and products in today's marketplace. And today, glass is much more than the simple painted brittle, see-through stuff we hit baseballs through when we were kids. Glass is now a product with unique flexibility in both performance and application. And Pensacola Glass Company is growing right along. That's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348. 75 years of service and high tech today. It's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348. High tech is a term often applied to advanced services and products in today's marketplace. And today, glass is much more than the simple painted brittle, see-through stuff we hit baseballs through when we were kids. Glass is now a product with unique flexibility in both performance and application. And Pensacola Glass Company is growing right along. That's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348.
There's a reason why Hill Kelly in Pensacola is the #1 selling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer between Jacksonville and New Orleans. While other dealers have taken advantage of a competitive market with higher prices, Hill Kelly has discounted prices to the lowest of the year. And Hill Kelly in Pensacola won't surprise you with excessive charges beyond the selling price. Come see why people from Milton, Pace, Foley, Bay Minette, Daphne, Gulf Shores, Mobile, and beyond are driving to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to buy their next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. At Hill Kelly, the bottom line price and your satisfaction are what really matter. So before you sign, check the bottom line and make the trip to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to see what true local ownership can do for you. At Hill Kelly Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Highway 29 in Car City, Pensacola. Or shop online 24/7 at hillkellydodge.com. When it comes to bottom line pricing, nobody beats a Hill Kelly deal. Nobody.
Arbitrium Consulting for all your fencing, landscaping, pressure washing, tree trimming needs. Call 850-483-0350 for your free estimates. Serving Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, Destin, Perdido, Gulf Shores, Foley, and the entire Gulf Coast. Arbitrium Consulting is owner-operated, fully licensed and insured. Call today, 850-483-0350, the official landscaper of Coach's Corner. Are you riding around in a filthy vehicle? Dirty car no more. Visit Ronnie's Car Wash today to get it shining in no time. They have 3 convenient locations with another coming soon. The unlimited monthly wash packages start as low as $14.95 per month with free vacuums, multi-purpose spray and towels. Visit them in Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, and soon Crestview. Don't wait, wash today. Be sure to see Ronnie's Car Wash on Facebook to see the latest specials and discounts. You'll be riding and shining in no time.
Hey, Bill, some game, huh?
I haven't really noticed, Paul.
What? The biggest game of the year?
I've been looking over my insurance. Talk about problems I'm trying to figure out.
Well, do what I did. Call the Seiler Agency. They showed me what I needed and what I didn't. They even saved me money. Now, instead of worrying about my insurance, I can worry about the big game.
Contact the Seiler Agency at 476-7443 for all of your insurance needs. Your independent agent for home, auto, boat, RV, commercial, general liability, life, and sound investment strategies. Call 476-7443 today.